It's a Tuesday night. You just got home from work. You're tired. You make dinner, you scroll your phone for a bit, and somewhere in there you check your bank account. Same number as last week, roughly. And you start doing that math everyone does eventually. Rent, car payment, groceries, subscriptions you forgot you had. By the time it's all accounted for, there's barely anything left to actually build with. So you start thinking about a side hustle. Maybe you've already looked into it. Freelancing, reselling, YouTube, some app that promises passive income. And within about 10 minutes of scrolling, you land on two kinds of advice. One side tells you it's easy, 90 days to financial freedom. Quit your job by summer. The other side tells you it basically doesn't work. Side hustles are a scam. Just focus on your career and save more. Neither one is really true. Here's the thing. Building a second income stream in 90 days is absolutely possible. But it doesn't look like what the ads promise. And it's not as hopeless as the skeptics claim either. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the realistic version, the one that actually works if you follow it in order. My name is Jack, and if you've ever wanted extra income but didn't know where to start, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Let's start with the first uncomfortable truth. Most second income streams fail in the first 90 days, not because the idea was bad, but because people pick something that requires money or audience they don't have yet. Think about it. Someone wants extra income, so they go buy inventory to resell. Or they try to start a subscription box business. Or they sink money into ads for a product nobody's heard of. They're trying to build a business before they've built a system. That's backwards. Here's what actually works in a 90-day window. Second income streams that use a skill you already have, or one you can learn fast, and that require little to no upfront money. Not because bigger ideas are bad, but because bigger ideas take longer than 90 days to become profitable. And we're working with a deadline here, so let's break this into stages, because trying to do everything at once is exactly how people burn out by day 12 and quit. Step 1. Audit what you already have. Before you search Best Side Hustles 2026, look at your own life first. What do people already ask you for help with? What have you gotten reasonably good at through your job, a hobby, or just years of doing it? Maybe it's writing, maybe it's spreadsheets, maybe it's photography, or fixing things, or explaining complicated stuff simply. Here's what most people don't realize. You don't need to be an expert. You need to be slightly ahead of someone else. If you know more about budgeting apps than your friend does, you're ahead of them. That gap is where the income lives. Step 2. Pick one narrow offer, not a business. This is where a lot of people overcomplicate things. They think second income stream means starting a company, complete with a logo, a website, and a 5-year plan. Forget all of that. In the first 90 days, your job isn't to build a business. Your job is to sell one small specific thing to one small specific type of person. Not I do graphic design. Instead, I design Instagram templates for local coffee shops. Not I do consulting. Instead, I help small landlords organize their rental spreadsheets. Narrow feels smaller, but narrow sells faster because a specific offer solves a specific problem, and specific problems are what people actually pay to fix. Step 3. Get your first dollar as fast as possible. Not your first $1,000, your first dollar. Here's why this matters so much. The first sale does something psychological that no amount of planning can replicate. It proves the idea works. Even if it's one client paying you $40 to edit a resume, that $40 is proof that someone, somewhere, will pay for what you're offering. Let's look at the math on this, because the math is actually the encouraging part. Say in week 1, you land one client at $50. In week 2, maybe 2 clients because the first one told a friend, or you got slightly better at your pitch. By week 4, you're at 4 or 5 clients a week. That's not linear growth. That's the beginning of a curve. If you keep that pace and average just $200 a week by the halfway point of your 90 days and $400 a week by the end, you're looking at roughly $7,000 to $8,000 in extra income over the full 90-day period. Not life-changing, but definitely not nothing. And more importantly, that number keeps growing after day 90 because now you have a repeatable process instead of a one-time idea. Now here's what most people don't realize about that curve. The first 30 days almost always feel like nothing is happening. You post, you pitch, you reach out, and the silence can be discouraging. But this stage is where the groundwork gets laid. The results in days 60 through 90 are a direct result of what got planted in days 1 through 30. It's the same reason people quit a gym routine right before they'd have started seeing results. Which brings us to step 4. Systemize before you scale. Once you have a handful of repeat clients or customers, resist the urge to immediately chase more, more, more. Instead, spend a week tightening your process. How do people find you? How do you onboard them? How do you get paid? Small friction points here are the difference between a side income that stays manageable and one that quietly turns into unpaid overtime. Let me give you a quick analogy. Building a second income stream is a lot like planting a garden in a pot instead of a field. You're not trying to grow everything at once. You're deliberately keeping it small and contained so you can actually manage it, learn from it, and only then decide if it's worth expanding into something bigger. Now you might be thinking, okay, Jack, but what if I try this and nobody buys anything? Fair question, and it happens. But here's the key insight. If nobody's buying, it's rarely because side income is impossible. It's almost always because the offer was too broad, or it was pitched to the wrong people, or the price didn't match the value being offered. That's a fixable problem, not a dead end. Adjust the offer, adjust who you're offering it to, and try again. This is exactly why step 2, picking something narrow, matters so much. Let me tell you about someone who did this well. A guy I know spent years wanting extra income, but never starting, because he kept waiting for the right big idea. Eventually, he picked something almost embarrassingly simple. He started helping small business owners clean up their Google business profiles, since he'd learned the basics doing it for his own job. His first client paid him $75. His second client came from a referral 2 weeks later. By day 90, he had 6 repeat clients paying him a combined $1,200 a month for maybe 6 hours of work a week. Nothing flashy, no app, no course, no fancy branding, just a narrow skill, a small offer, and consistency for 90 days straight. That's genuinely how most second income streams start. Not with a big launch, but with one small, unglamorous transaction that proves the concept works. So if you're serious about building a second income stream in the next 90 days, here's the realistic roadmap. First, audit what you already know how to do instead of searching for some brand new skill. Second, narrow it down to one specific offer for one specific type of person. Third, focus entirely on getting your first paying customer as fast as possible, because that first dollar proves everything. And fourth, once you have a few repeat customers, systemize your process before you even think about scaling up. Because here's the truth most people don't want to hear. 90 days isn't about getting rich. It's about proving to yourself that you can build something outside your main paycheck. And once you've proven that once, doing it a second time gets a lot easier. 90 days from today is going to happen either way. The only real question is whether you'll have spent them building something, or whether you'll still be scrolling through the same best side hustles list you're looking at right now. If this video helped you think about starting a second income stream, hit that subscribe button. And I'm curious, what's one skill you already have that someone might actually pay for? Let me know in the comments, because that answer might be the entire idea you've been waiting for.